Greetings, everyone. Greetings, meditators. Stephen Dynako here. I'm honored to be with you all, sharing stories of transformation. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this one with you. Really went into my heart deeply to select this particular story of transformation because I think it's perfect for what we are yearning for and needing in the world at this time. And it's also miraculous. So what I want to talk about is mom energy. We hear a lot about the emergence, the powerful emergence of the divine feminine in these times, and that is indeed needed. It's powerful. It's encouraged. We all can open our hearts to it and then allow it to flow through us. And um, as part of that is mom energy. Just like you might say that there's grandmother energy. Um, there's the divine feminine on like the meta level. There's grandmother energy as well. There'd be sister energy. I want to talk about mom energy. And perhaps mom energy is one of the most powerful. And I feel like that mom energy is something that is really something to encourage us, to help us, to build us up, to help us show up for these times with all that's happening in the world, to really to stand powerfully and to be good stewards of our neighbors, our families, strangers, the earth, and one another. So the story I want to share of transformation, and what I'd actually like to do is make this an integral part of the meditation. So as you listen to me tell this story, I would invite you to close your eyes. I may even close my eyes in telling it to you. Close your eyes and just get settled in this moment. Taking a nice deep breath, even a couple of deep breaths, and just feel your body present. Feel that power of the gravity of the earth just holding you gently where you're seated. So it's not repressive at all, but it's lovingly holding you here, right here and right now. So you can, sit up straight to feel into the power of your core. And as you do that, also simultaneously feel the gravity of the earth gently holding you on this spot where you are seated. And breathe. Allow your shoulders to relax. Just make note of where you're holding any tension in your body. And with each exhale, allow that tension to dissipate just a little bit. So if you're holding the tension in your neck and in your shoulders with each exhale, just envision that tension melting down into the ground below. And then on your next inhale, just feel yourself becoming more centered, more energized, increasingly fortified, and ever more powerfully loved. So as I move into the story, it was over 10 years ago now that I was a chaplain intern at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago. I was exploring options along my spiritual path and had felt led to the chaplaincy. So I explored that by becoming a chaplain intern at the hospital. And one day, one afternoon, I get a page from the special care nursery unit of the hospital. And the page is to perform a baptism for a baby who was dying and was not going to make it. So I get the page and I respond and make my way. to the nursery. And as soon as I enter into the treatment area, into the unit, the attending physician sees me and notices my chaplain badge, and then just requests everyone working around this baby, because there's a whole team of doctors and nurses around this baby. And he just requests that they let me in, give me some room to come in and be present. So as I am about to perform the baptism, I realize I don't know the baby's name. So I ask, and someone says Michael. So I perform the baptism, fully led by Spirit. Typically there's a text that we would have as chaplains, that we pull out a little book and we could read a baptism. The time was of the essence here, and rather than fumble for the book, I just went right to my instincts, my intuition, my heart, and did the baptism from the heart. And then that's not the most powerful part of the story. What comes next is that mom energy. And somewhere in the midst of this situation, I've come to learn that the parents of this baby were being called to the hospital, but they likely would not make it in time to see their baby alive again. So once I perform the baptism, there's a young nurse just sitting right to my left. And once I do the baptism, all of the treatment team starts to unhook like tubes and monitors and anything else that was hooked up to this baby, and frees him of all the machinery. And then this nurse seated to my left picks up Michael and just begins lovingly wiping his face with a damp towel and then rocking him. And continues to do this. Just wiping his face, rocking him. Being present to him. And then at one point, Michael, in what seemed like maybe a fit of either frustration that he wasn't going to spend much time on the planet, or maybe it was just one last salute to the world that he was about to leave, he just puts both of his little arms up and shakes them for a few moments, puts them back down, and then within a few seconds of that, he's gone. And what really struck me about witnessing this was the deep sadness that Michael's mother would not be there before her baby died. And yet I felt inspired as well, because the young nurse who was present to Michael in those last moments of his life on earth and was there so lovingly and so compassionately for him, that was a love that only a mom could give. And for that, on Michael's behalf, I was grateful. And to this day, it reminds me of the transformative power of that mom energy. And in these times on earth, in the midst of all of our crises, this shared experience of feeling discord, anxiety, depression, despair, worry, anger. During this time on earth, it is absolutely essential that we all express the power of mom energy for one another, whether male or female. Just go deep into our hearts and connect with that humane part of you and of us collectively that is coded to care. Bring the power of the mom in you out into the world. Show up with compassion, just like that young nurse was to Michael. Not judging by appearances. She fully knew that he was going to be exiting the world. And that just fueled her compassion and her mom energy all the more. And this is what we need in the world right now for one another. To the extent that you can, to the extent that you're able, to the extent that you have access and contact, with one or more people that need a really good dose of that loving mom energy. Just go deep into the well of your heart and tap that source. Express it. And the love that will come back to you, that you'll feel, that will continue to energize and fortify and inspire you, will come back to you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold, 1,000,000-fold. And the only thing that is required of you is to express it. So this is the miracle. This is our meditation on the miracle of the mom energy that is inherently part of each of us. As we show up for the planet, for one another, whether partner or friend, stranger, neighbor, even foe. So let's just take a few moments, tap into the mom energy in you, meditate upon it for a few moments in the silence. Connecting to that mom energy deep within the well of your heart. Allow it to ripple through every cell and fiber of your being. Allow it to direct the power of your love to embrace all of humanity from this moment forward. Now gently begin to bring your presence back fully to the moment, to the place where you're seated, to your body, to the room. Take a couple of nice deep cleansing breaths. Feel your body seated on the spot that you occupy. Feel yourself energized, fortified, inspired. Empowered. And let's take one collective deep breath in together through the nose, bringing it down into the lungs and deep into the belly. Expand your torso as much as you can, comfortably holding it at the top for a moment. And then release with a sigh. And when you're ready, open your eyes, be here and be aware right now. So thank you for joining me for this meditation on the miracle of mom energy. Happy to have you here. Ever grateful for your presence and your willingness to show up. Peace and namaste.